Hey students, this video covers exercise for Unit 8 regarding the master pages exercise. What you want to do is you want to launch InDesign, and prior to this you want to make sure that you have a solid texture found from Vecteezy or one that you've created that you can utilize for this master page exercise. Again, you can find these free textures within the website Vecteezy, and or you can create one right on your own within InDesign or within Illustrator. But pretty much we're going to begin by creating a new document. Make sure instead of units, pica units, it says inches. I like to do, instead of portrait, I like to do landscape for this exercise. For pages, we're going to do 10 pages. 3 columns, 0.25 column gutter. For the margin, we have 0.25. And then you say create. Okay. The first thing I want you to do is open up your Pages panel. Go to Window, Pages. Pull that right out onto the space. This master page document is going to be focused on right within this panel. So just so you understand the landscape, up here is the master page working area. And down here is your document working space. So sometimes it's easy to forget where you're at. Just remember that whatever's highlighted in blue is where you're going to want to, you're focused in that area. Okay, so if I double click on the master page, I'm in that master page. If I double click on the working document space, I am there. We're going to focus right now on being in the master page. The exercise says that they want you to have one block of color. So I'm going to go to my rectangle tool and conveniently have a nice bleed in there. So I'm going to have this block of color. Going to make it kind of a abrasive blue, cyan color there. And then I went ahead and I had a texture saved to my desktop already. So I'm going to go ahead and place that right in. I'm going to find that texture. It's white, so. Okay. There's my texture. I got this from the Vecteezy website. I had to manipulate the image just a little bit in Illustrator before I could bring it in. But I'm going to use this as my texture piece in this document. Okay, because I don't want to accidentally click on these things within the master page, I'm going to go ahead and lock them. I first want to move my texture aside, click on that color block because I feel like it's a little sharp and bright. So I'd like to make that into a gradient, which obviously if you have the block selected and you select gradient, it changes into black and white. So then you can drag your swatch right over the top. There you go. And then I'm going to make that at an angle. So here we go. There's my gradient color block. Almost looks like snow coming down from the sky. I also think that's kind of a big color block, so I'm going to shrink it a little. Right. All right, so now if you notice, whatever I've created up in this space, it automatically applies in the working document space. So I'm double clicking. If you notice, each and every page looks the same. So this is essential when we have a catalog or a long document piece. You don't want people to be flipping from page to page and things to shift slightly from page to page because they're not locked on a master page. Okay, so now that I'm going to double click back into my master page. Now I'm going to lock these elements on the page. Click. I don't want to accidentally click on them and move them around when I'm creating the other stuff. Object, lock. Okay, so now I can't really accidentally move anything around. The next thing I'm going to add is a title. I'm going to go to my type tool. I'm going to create kind of a big type tool. I'm going to change this to Myriad Pro Regular. I'm going to say title. I'm going to enlarge this quite a bit. Obviously, you can make up a title of your choice. I'm going to right align it. I'm going to make it the color paper. And it's going to come up over here. I'm going to make it a little smaller here. Okay. All right. Title. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is we have a title, we have a block of color, a texture, and now we want to have a placeholder for type and a placeholder for an image. So these can vary throughout our working document space, and that's actually part of the exercise. So the first thing I want you to understand is the rectangle frame tool. This is something that designers use as a common communication tool if you're working on a team. So let's say I want my images to be placed somewhere. For example, I'm going to do like maybe 3 narrow images. There I placed one there. As you can tell, there's like this dotted frame X. That's just a way of telling other designers that an image is supposed to go there. It could even be telling the writers that too, so that they don't write too much copy if you're working on a team. So here we've got 3 different images and they're all aligned, and that's my placeholder images. I know on every page that's where the images are going to go, right? I'm going to move them up just slightly. There's not much of a gap there, all right? This is why having a grid is so essential. The column grid helps us align things. You can also pull out guides. If you have your ruler showing in your document, pull out guides and align underneath to make sure you're aligned properly. You can hit your W so that you know, wow, if I went to print this, none of that would actually print. It's only to help me guide me as I design. To pull out a guide is click right in that ruler and pull it down right into the page. Pretty cool. And then if you want to delete it, you can just click on it and delete it. Click off of it, click on it, delete. You can delete your guide right from the page if you don't want to see it, if it's confusing you or throwing you off. But again, if you've got those rulers showing, all you do is use your selection tool, click right within the ruler to the left or the right and pull right into your document, and you've got a nice guide to help align elements on the page. Another nice working grid option for you. Okay, so now I've got 3 different placeholders for copy. The next thing I want to do is, for photos, the next thing I want to do is add in some copy. I'm going to go ahead and grab my type tool. I can do it this way where I add my invisible box and then my cursor's flashing, and I can go right into type, fill with placeholder text. And what that does is it fills it with Greek copy. I'm going to want to highlight it all and then go into Myriad Pro or whatever contrasting type you feel like you want to use for this project. I'm going to keep it at 11, and then I'm going to open up that leading substantially. All right, so that is a nice way of showing that you've got placeholder copy. Obviously, if you wanted to do 3 columns worth of copy, you could do that as well. You open that up and you've got 1 column, and then you go to Object Text Frame Options, and you can make it 3 columns. See what happens that way. Okay. But for this one, I think what I might do is keep it at 2 columns. Object Text Frame Options, 2 columns. You guys can do however you see fit for your exercise, but I want you to have these elements within the document. Okay, now we have all the elements we need for our exercise. Although we're not done with the exercise. Now that we have all the elements and we see, if we double click onto page 1 within our working document space, now that you know that they go on every single page up through 10, now we need to figure out, how do we vary this within the working document space? If you have a page after page that looks exactly the same, obviously that's not very interesting or fun. So we're going to have to find a way to do a little bit of variation. So I'm going to go ahead and every other page on all the even pages, I'm going to double click onto what I want to do is I want to release certain elements and move them. Okay, so one way of doing that, you can get a little more extensive too in adding more master pages, like a B master page based on A. Now, we're not going to do that for this particular exercise, but I'm just going to show you, like, maybe page 2 we keep the same. Page 4 we vary it from page 2. Page 2, actually, each one of these pages, the evens are going to stay exactly the same. The odds, for the first page, it's going to be our cover page, so obviously it might look entirely different. So let's release everything from that master page. And the one way to do that is by using Command-Shift-Click. You can see right away that I cannot move any of the other elements. They're locked because of the master page. But as soon as I say Command or Control-Shift-Click, I am now releasing. Control-Shift-Click. I can release everything from that master page. Another way of doing that is Control-Shift-Click and drag to release all of that from the master page. Now even my background is released. Actually, these two don't get released because remember I didn't want them to move. So we can double click back into the master and we need to unlock a couple items, object, unlock all on spread. Okay, now let's go back into that page 1 and let's release that from the master page. Control, Shift, click and drag. So all of our elements are released from the master page. So page 1 I want to be completely blank. You can delete those guides too. What? Page 2 we're going to keep the same. Page 3 we're going to flip. So let's do a Control, Shift, click and drag and release it all from the master page. Let's triple click on title to select it and let's left align that. Okay. And then let's move these 2 columns over here. And just for variation, let's bring our images all to the left side of the column, left-hand column, just to bring some interest to the design. And then let's align our copy up here. So now we have a little variation from page 2 to 3. Okay? So I want you to do that from every odd page. You can go back up to 3 and then look at how you did that and then double click on 5. Control, Shift, click and drag. Hold down the Shift and click and drag it over to the side. Left align. Bringing all these elements over here. And then moving these up. Now I'm going to do the same for number 7 and number 9. And then once you're done, that will be it. For number 10, I'd like you to drag the None master page over the top. And if you notice, it turns blank. That's another way of quickly clearing everything. So 1 and 10 will be blank. All evens will look like so. All odds will look like so. Make sure you do a file, save as, and upload to JetNet.